Hello plant community, thanks for tuning into this channel. My name is Pam and let's come together and do some chores together. Now from what y'all seen in the beginning clips, as you can see I have some yellowing leaves and I've been kind of like putting some things off. I've been wanting to do some chores for plants and let's just be honest you guys, it just got to a point where I just didn't feel like doing it, you know. And so now I'm kind of like, I think on the verge of I have to do something about these plants. I'm seeing that they're declining or I need to make some improvements and things like that. So this is, hopefully it won't be too long of a video, but if you guys have some plant chores, maybe we can do them together. So I'm just going to jump right in. I have a couple of things that I wanted to do. One of the things I noticed, you guys, when right now we're clearly in the midst of fall, and I do believe sometimes, for me, y'all comment below, let me know if this happens to you, but some of my plants, they, even if I have them growing indoors, they kind of transition or go through a period of a change, whether it's yellowing leaves or something like that. And that's just more or less an indicator for me that I have to pull back a little bit on the water because they're not taking or absorbing as much water as quickly as they was in the growing season. So I know that they're, you know, going back to dormancy or dying down a bit or going back a bit as far as their photosynthesis and all of that. So I have to be mindful of that because I do know that for me as a plant parent, I can be a heavy waterer. But I would like for y'all to comment below and kind of let me know if your plants as well go through a transition, or I don't know if it's more of a plants going through a transition or if it's you going through a transition as being a plant parent. I want to say it's that over the plants, but yeah, so I have a couple of things. This right here, I believe, is my Agena Maria. It does grow in here, and it has, in my personal opinion, seen better days. The leaves are shriveling up, and I don't think it's a watering thing. I'm not quite sure, but when I actually last gave it some water, I want to show you guys, this actually broke off right here. And so it's just an indicator that I need to at least go into the soil and see what's going on. I'm thinking that it's a rooting issue. And so let's just take a look and see what we got going on here. Basically just want to take a look. The soil is healthy, I do know that, because I believe I gave it fresh soil right before the beginning of this growing season. And I don't know, all last year, last summertime, this Maria was growing very nicely. This was one of the ones I actually had underneath one of my tables in here where it's just basically getting medium light. But y'all know already that I've been having some issues with my aglaonemas lately, and I don't know why. So, I don't know. I honestly, I don't know why. Some of them were doing good, and then all of a sudden they were not. So, as I suspected, you guys, it has a root system, but it's not, I don't know if y'all can see it. It has a root system, but it's not as, I guess, a strong root system. And I believe, let's see, I don't know if y'all do that. I have a habit of smelling the soil. Yeah, like I said, there's nothing wrong with the soil. Maybe it was something in regards to my watering regimen. But I do know that aglaonemas traditionally don't like to be wet. So I try to make sure that it's dried out. So just as I suspected, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not even going to, yeah, these roots are, look at that. It's just literally breaking off, which is fine. So, you know, I'm just going to have to start over with this plant. And I'm just going to put it in here. I already have this jar of water, and I'm showing where the growing eyes on this one is starting to develop. Now this right here I could probably chop off and just try to grow roots, but it's a lot of growing eye on here, and I just want to put it in this water, and I think that's what I'm going to do with the rest of these after I clean it up. And then I can I'm actually, yeah, because I'm feeling the base. I'm not sure. Some of it could be trying to get a little bit of rot going on. Yeah, I feel like, geez, I don't know. Doesn't smell though. Just a little darker. Of course, it would be dark because it's in the soil. Okay, let me just clean the rest of them, and then I'll just think about what I want to do. Yeah, this thing is just, yeah. I'm glad I decided to go ahead and take a look at this. Yeah, and it's okay. I just have to start over and get some roots going, some healthy roots going on this plant, and it will be fine. Yeah, I'm gonna probably, yeah, I'm gonna have to probably rinse it off. Now it has some roots, but not a whole lot, not enough to actually sustain the growth or healthy growth of this plant. And this is like one of my favorite aglaonemas. I really love the green variety ones. I mean, I love the color ones too. Don't get me wrong, because I do have a couple of the pink ones and like the Dalmatian white variety ones in my home. But I don't know, I like the green ones because to me they, up until now I guess, they seem to be like the easier care growing ones for me. I don't know, even though we say that the aglaonema is an easy plant, I think for me it's just more or less understanding their water. Now this looks like a pretty okay root system, but I'm still going to put it in water because I just want to build up. Like you see right here, some good long healthy roots there, but I don't know. And these were flowers at one time, you guys. So, you know, this plant was being happy in the growing season, but for some reason, somewhere along the lines, maybe I may have given it too much water at some point. I'm not sure. I try my best to, you know, always stick my fingers in the soil, even if I don't have the moisture meter handy. I feel the leaves. So, but I mean, I'm human at the same time, so, you know, mistakes can always happen, and that's fine. I guess right now I'm just, yeah, like right here. See, that's very healthy white root right there. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and rinse these off, and then just plop them in water. And I think, because I kind of moved, I think, an aglaonema in my home from one area of the house to the other, I'm gonna put this probably in my kitchen window seal, because for some reason, especially when I'm doing propagations or re-establishing roots in water, when I tend to put it right there, it's like the perfect spot in my home, seemingly, where my propagations really take off, or the root system really grows well. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I know it's probably not gonna do as much, or maybe it will, who knows, you know, because I can propagate in the winter time, as you know, as well as fall and winter, if need be. I don't think, for me, it just hasn't been an issue. So yeah, so let me rinse these off and then straighten up a bit, and then I'll be right back and we can move on to the next chore. Okay guys, I'm back, and I did a nice rinse, got all the soil off. See if I can put it in here. This is a jar of something that I got from the market, and I keep them around. Y'all keep y'all jars when y'all go shopping and say, hey, I can use these for like a propagation vessel. And I particularly kept these because this was just I think like I had a jar of olives or something. Yeah, a jar of olives. And I just kept it because of the length of the jar. So yeah, just starting over. If you look at the top, it looks kind of nice. But yeah, I'm just going to start over with that and put it in the windowsill. And yeah, so just, you know what? I see that these leaves are dead. I'm not even going to, I still want to keep the stem because I know that something can grow from that. But yeah. And I probably, you know what, I might keep an eye on it and just give updates on my, send updates on my Instagram in regards to that. So move on to the next chore. Now, let's see. No need for me to clean that up. So 2 things I wanted to do. And I'm just doing this one with you guys actually on camera, but looking at some of my plants, I really need to go around and do it with a few other plants of mine. And one is actually just trim away some of the dead leaves and things like that. And of course I want to start with my beautiful prized possession Maranta that I've grown off of just 2 leaves, and look how I've managed to keep it full. One of my oldest plants, one of my most cherished and loving plants. If y'all been watching me for some time, y'all probably seen, hopefully, the reason why this one is my cherished plant. But anyway, what I'm just trying to do here is just cut back some of the dead shriveled leaves, more or less, that I more or less created. Let's just be honest, I more or less created from possibly a miswatering of some sort. And I've been constantly trying to propagate this plant because that's what I do to try to maintain the full top, so to speak. And this is one of the ones that I have sitting in my windowsill in my kitchen, and it's really loving the light there. I really don't want to move it there, so I think my goal is to try to keep it as bushy as possible. So I kind of trimmed that back, and I'm gonna just I'll just cut back this one yellowing leaf. The good part about Marantas, you guys, is for me, is that they do pretty much bounce back after you chop them. You know, I've showed y'all that theory I did where I chopped the plant back down to just 2 leaves, not this particular Maranta, but one of my other ones, and how full I'm looking at it right now. So full and lush right now, so they really like being pruned back. But yeah, so another thing that I'm going to do, because these plants right here, eventually, you guys, they're going to have to come out of here, because it's soon, like say about a week or 2 from now, if judging by the weather pattern, I probably would have to turn the heat on, which is connected here, and the heat will more or less just rise up here. So in the winter time, I traditionally don't even have any plants in here, and I think as a security measure or safety precaution, I'll probably just move the whole thing all together because of the tassels that I have right here. So I moved a couple of the plants out, and one of them was actually a cutting that I took from this plant, and I kind of set it over here, you guys. And this actually dried up, which is crazy because it was sitting in water. You think, okay, how the heck did it dry up sitting in water? But it probably was already on its way out, which is fine. So when that shriveled up, this new leaf grew. And you know, I always want to wait until the roots get to be at least 2 inches. And it is a lot of roots right here. I don't know if y'all are able to see it. And so I'm just going to more or less just put it in an area on the top that I feel may be a little spaced, so to speak. So right in the middle. I have this stick. I don't even know where I got it from. Probably through something, and I decided to keep it. And you know, to maintain the fullness of the top, you guys, this is basically what I've been doing. Every so often, when it starts to trail a little bit, I cut it. And I have cut from this plant for quite some time. I've given cuttings away to friends, and I don't know, it just keeps giving. So I don't know, maybe at some point, and that's only if I decide to move the plant from the location. Now I'll go ahead and allow it to trail. But I really love the way that it's so full, you know, and like I said, very easy to propagate. You can actually chop it, put it in water, and it'll grow roots within probably 2 weeks, honestly. Dang. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this for now. So I have another Maranta that I wanted to do the same thing with. And this is my lemon Maranta. It's still a beautiful specimen, guys, don't get me wrong. It definitely has seen a little better days. It was way fuller than what you see right here. I had to chop a lot of the leaves back because they dried up. And honestly, I would actually take full responsibility for it because I really missed a watering or two. So I'm actually looking at this right now. I'm cutting some of the, I guess, dead leaves, stems, and stalks. Because you definitely, since we're winding down, for those of us that experience 4 seasons, we're winding down now, and we're in fall soon. Before we know it, we'll be in the winter season, and basically you just want to make sure your plants are as healthy as possible. So I do, for me, whenever I'm able to, because, you know, of course, time in life is not on our side at times. We just don't have the time to do all these chores sometimes. But when I do have the time, which is, I'm making the time right now, you guys, honestly, because it has to be done. Can't keep putting it off. Let me cut this leaf off. I do definitely cut off all the brown leaves and everything, because I do want to make sure that I am not introducing any pest at all. And so, yeah. It's still a nice specimen, and look, it's happy because look at the roots. Now, I'm going to leave the root system as it is. I probably won't even think about either probably upsizing it a little bit or making it maybe a pot this size, but maybe deeper. And until next growing season, it'll be fine. Unless I see it start to decline in some way, that's when I'll do an emergency pot up. But I have these cuttings. And I don't know if you can see the roots right there. And one of the leaves yellowed. Actually, 2 of the leaves actually yellowed. And you know what? It's a node right here. I'll just cut the leaf off above the node. Doing that will help stimulate and promote growth. I'll do that with this as well. Now, honestly, as far as the yellowing leaves, when the leaf starts to yellow, in my personal opinion, you guys, like around the growing season, if it yellowed, I kind of like leave it be. For in my mind, I have no scientific proof at all to back up this statement right here, but in my mind, I think that it starts absorbing, or I leave that leaf on to kind of like take the entire hit for the plant. Like if it's overwatered somehow, the leaf is already yellowed, I kind of like just leave it be so it can go ahead and finish the process, and hopefully the plant will just put all of that extra moisture into the one leaf. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, if I cut that leaf and it still hasn't, and the plant hasn't stopped more or less surviving itself, that it would just move the yellowing onto another leaf, if that makes any sense. But like I said, once again, I have no scientific backing to prove that theory I just made. It's just, I don't know, something in my head. I don't know. I don't know. Y'all comment below. Let me know if y'all have any, like, I guess what we call makeshift theories. Now this one, even though, you know, this is an example of how some propagations are a little bit more successful than others, because I literally cut these off at the same time, and this has 0 roots. So I'm putting it back in the water. Until it grows some strong enough roots, I will prop it probably in the middle. But yeah, you can't even, well, I put it right here, you guys, so I think it's still a beautiful plant. At one time, like I said, it was branched out, and like a lot of leaves kind of just shriveled up on my watch, unfortunately. So no harm, no foul. I just start over, but still pretty, right? Well, I think it is. So move on to the next thing that I was gonna do. Let's see. All right, so this one right here, you guys, is going to be a little tricky. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be tricky. We'll just have to see. It's another Miranda, but this one I have to up-pot it. I've been putting it off. The roots have been growing out of the daggone pot like gangbusters, and so I just decided I'm going to just pot it in the pot that I have it in. And I'm about to show you guys. And also too, I never mentioned it in this video, but whatever shears you use, guys, please make sure you're wiping it down with some form of a sanitation type material. Whether it could be something as basic as just your dish water and dish soap and water, and just wipe it clean. I do use sometimes alcohol, but of course, you know, you guys, I use my little bleach wipes. It's more convenient for me. I buy them all the time anyway, so why not, right? But anyway, this Miranda, this is his cash pot. It does have one of those drainage holes inside, and the water can come out through here if you was like to tilt it, but it's no actual drill hole on the bottom. But I'm gonna go, but since it's a drill hole right there, I'm still gonna go ahead and do it anyway, and I want to show y'all why I have to take this plant out. Guys, look at this, and I put it off, and this is, look at that. I put it off too long, and it's crazy because I'm looking at the pot. I do see roots, but it's not like really bound. But it just loved growing through the pot. So I'm gonna try my best to take this plant out without destroying these roots. I traditionally, honestly, you guys, I would probably try to cut this pot, but I'm not doing that because these pots are nice pots. And I like these pots, and these pots can be, ordering these pots, they're not pricey, but I don't want to ruin this perfect pot. So I'm going to try my best to get it out. Before I do that, though, I'm going to just take a quick look on the base of this pot, base of the plant rather, and I'm just going to cut away any dead leaf, anything that could be possible form of decay. Because you know the pests they love hiding and dead stuff. So I already put one of these mesh things down at the bottom, which I do like. Do I use them all the time? No, I don't. I think I just go with how I feel. Today I feel like using it. Okay, so you know what? I have my soil right here, and I want to just kind of like, because I don't want to really make a mess. See if I can pull it out. Okay, it's coming out, you guys. It's like giving birth. Push. Oh wow. That might be a poor taste of humor. I don't know. This thing is stuck. Wait a minute. Okay. So once I pot it in this big pot right here. Oh no. I'm gonna have to lay it down. Yeah, but once I put it in this big pot, you guys, chances are the likelihood of me taking it out to repot it again will be slim. I kind of gotta like try to push the roots through the slits here, and then we'll see. Come on. Come on, baby. Oh, it's really stuck. Oh, man. Some gotta just be pushed. Let's see. Darn. I'm so sorry, plant, if I'm hurting you. Some weight. It's like one. It feels like it's just one something. Wish I could get my hand in there. I can't really. And if I can't get it out, I may have to sacrifice these roots and just cut them. I really don't want to do that. It has to be one of my last options, honestly. And I left it like this so long, you guys, honestly, because it wasn't wrapped up. Oh, there it is. There it is. It's a boy. I could be silly, don't mind me. But oh wow, it's really healthy though, I can say. I don't even know if the camera's gonna pick up on this area. I don't want to really bring it too close. See the little balls, and it's nice healthy roots going on in here. So yeah, so let's get this baby potted up. I'm just gonna lay her ever so nicely right here, and let's see. This is just my regular potting mix with my cacti soil, regular potting soil. I have some, I think, very little bit of pumice, because I try to, pumice can be pricey. I love pumice, but I try not to use it that much in my mixture if I can. And I just focus more or less on using, perlite. So I have perlite in here, and I have a little bit of orchid bark as well as some clay balls in here to add extra aeration in the soil. I only have a little bit. This is what I initially already had in here. I don't try to deviate too much from the soil. I just try to make it work. Now, what I do have going on is this is a glazed pot. So this glazed pot, hopefully in my method of thinking in theory, that it will maintain and hold moisture a little bit longer, so I can have a little bit of leeway when it comes to watering this baby. So yeah, I think that looks good. Yep, so I'll just sit that right here and give it time for the roots to find its way into the soil that I laid down. I'm pulling off a little bit more brown stuff that I'm seeing. Unfortunately, I did sacrifice some roots. It had to be done, I guess. But I definitely wanted to keep this pot intact. Let's see what's going on here. Let me just cut this off. Just gonna cut a piece off and just do away with that. And let's see. I don't know if I wanted to center it. Man, it's beautiful. I also have a cutting. I did cut a piece off. This piece right here. And y'all see the roots hanging, right? So I can pot it in here. And that's what I'm actually going to do. And then I'll just cover or put soil around it. It's not really missing a spot per se. I'll just put it right here. Yeah. The only thing about, for me, when it comes to repotting or potting up your Marantas is, unfortunately, you can't never wait. Traditionally, they say, you know, you want to do a potting up when the soil is dry. But, you know, with Marantas, you can't really allow the soil to get so dry. So the soil was still somewhat, I would say, moist. Definitely not wet, but it was definitely moist. Which I'm surprised that it didn't fall to pieces when I pulled it out of the pot. I'm just pushing it down here. And hopefully, like I said before, this Maranta can stay in this pot for quite some time. Because this is gotta be a, not sure what the inches on here. I think this might be a 8-inch pot. So that's another thing that I'm hoping that it'll hold moisture way longer, because it is a little bit bigger. Even though the pot it came out of was a 5-inch pot, you are supposed to go maybe no bigger than an inch. Well, no, I take that back. Not an inch. Maybe no larger than 2 inches if need be. But this is actually a big increase here. But I'm hoping that, like I said, I'm hoping that by the fact that Marantas love to be, they love to be watered or moist, that the size won't matter. I hope I'm right in theory with that, and that months from now, I won't be having a conversation with you guys about where I went wrong with this plant. A lot of stuff is always going to be trial and error. It's just, I don't know. Another thing too, I'm looking at it how it leans over. Maybe it's just me. It's probably just the Libra in me. But it's something about it laying over is bothering me. I think I gotta have some form, a little bit of OCD. I almost want to get a steak. And it's so crazy. I had this staked up one time before, and it looked good when I had it staked up. But I think the trellis that I was using at the time really wasn't probably the proper one to use for this variety of plant, to be honest. So when it did the prayer thing at night, it kind of looked funny to me. I kind of just want this to stand up, though. Y'all don't think that look better standing up as opposed to that? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. You know what, guys? Let me just come right back for a second. Okay, so I'm back. I don't know. Let me use this bamboo stake. I don't know. I think it's more just me. I don't even think it's a... Look at that. It's kind of like standing up a little bit because of the stick. I don't know. What y'all think? I think that looks better. Why am I over here in front of y'all wrestling with myself as far as my own thought process? I crack myself up sometimes, guys. I'm not even gonna lie. Okay, I think I'm gonna just take this and wrap around. It's so funny. Sidebar, you guys. I'm over here being indecisive as I don't know what, as far as what to do. Should I use a steak? Should I not use a steak? The drama that's going on in my brain, right? But at my job, I can make a decision like, it's so funny. So funny. Oh boy. Okay. So yeah, I think I'm gonna, just play it by ear. It looked better to me when it's like pushed up. Honestly, the only time I think it would look good out is literally if it was hanging. But since I'm not displaying this plant as a hanging plant, I just think it looks better, I don't know, up a little bit, guys. I'm trying to take my time, because every time I start finagling with the plants, I wind up paying for it by tearing up a leaf or something, and I don't want to destroy a plant all behind Pam's desires and looks or aesthetics. I think okay, let's see. I love this Velcro tape. And that's what I'm actually using. Do y'all use Velcro tape or twist ties or something like that? I use the tape, you guys, because sometimes I'll be feeling a little nervous using the ties. For some reason in my mind, I'm thinking that it might cut off the circulation of a plant. But I really don't know. Once again, there's no method to my madness here. Just pretty much winging it. And let's see. Let's get this out. And I'm just going to lift this up and kind of let it brace itself there. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. What y'all think? This way? Looks better that way to me than the other side. That's okay. For everybody to see, it'll be facing this way. I'm more or less, it doesn't really matter because I think it's just going to matter from, let me firmly press around the sides. That's the one thing I forgot because I was too busy worrying about the aesthetic of the daggone plant and not worrying about the safety of the plant. Bad plant parent Pam. But anyway, yeah, I got it now. But it looks better actually like that. And I'm going to have it sitting on the floor anyway here. So anybody walking by or admire this plant or happen to look down and be like, oh, it's such a beautiful full plant. Like, thanks, it naturally grows that way. Ha! Like as if we don't really put a lot of time into these plants. Okay, I have a plethora of things to do, you guys, but in all sincerity and not to bore you guys or have it be but so long, I'm looking at the timer. Yeah, we've been here for a minute, I think. I'm going to just do this right here. This ZZ plant, I don't know what's going on. I think the change is because I had it up at the top of my one of my stands in here, and I had put it down at the bottom shelf of my stand because I needed to make room for my beautiful ficuses, and I think it probably is mad at me for doing that. So I just wanted to chop the yellow leaves off because I don't know. I'm not giving it anything to drink. I do try my best to definitely pull back when the seasons change when it comes to this. Even though the stems feel a little shriveled right here, I don't know. Sometimes it could be an overwatering issue or not watering enough issue. So you gotta kind of make the determination. I just don't think it's an overwatering issue. Might be an underwatering. I think it is. So I may just give it some water just so I can feel better. It feels light. The soil is completely dry. So yeah, I'll probably give it a nice good drink off film. Camera, rather. Alright. I just told my age by saying film, right? Alright, so one last thing to do and then we're going to wrap it up. Next thing and last thing, you guys, that's been bothering me for a while is actually this ficus. This is my baby ficus tree, the one that I've grown from a baby, literally in a 2-inch planter. I want to pot it up, or yeah, I think pot it up. I'm gonna put it in here because I wanted it to be a little bit deeper to give it, let's see, it's not gonna look cool in here, but it needs to be done. I need a deeper pot. Yeah, this is okay. Pam, what was you thinking there? But anyway, it's gonna have to do until I find another pot for this. But there's nothing really wrong with it. It's just the base of the plant is up at the top, and I really just wanted to cover that. And it's been in this planter, honestly, you guys, for 2 years now, I think. Now for this one, I did not put the mesh thing at the bottom. I probably should have. Okay. So as you can see, it's not root bound, but that's not the reason why I'm doing it. I'm just doing it because I think it needed to be in another pot. It's not really, I guess it's upsized to this point of the height, if that makes sense. So I think sometimes when I use the planters that's deep, give me a lot of time for the soil, for the roots to actually grow. And like I said, it's the top part is what was really concerning me. I did not really want the top part of the roots to actually start protruding through the top. So I just wanted to cover that. And also too, truth be told, in this planter, it was becoming top heavy by it being so small, which was the reason why I had put it in here to kind of balance the weight. So I really, because of that, I really don't have to do that now, put it in that planter. I could actually just leave it as is. But for decoration purposes, I'm just going to put it in there until I can find the proper cash pole for it. I'm trying my best not to buy any more planters. I'm going to have to learn how to work with the ones that I have. I have a plethora of them. Let's see. You know, honestly, you guys, if I could have separated this portion right here, which is the ruby one, I really would have, just so that I could have this one stake. But like I said, when I tried to do it the first time, when I initially put it in this pot, the roots were so intertwined, I did not want to risk it. So this is definitely okay. And I'm just gonna plop it in here for now. It's too bad that the top of this is not flushed with the white planter, but hey, what can you do, right? So I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. Let it settle in its home. I'm not gonna give this any water because, you know, ficuses, you know, they like to dry out, and I don't want to. I'd rather wait. My gut is to say wait before you actually give it water and just call it a day. But so yeah, so I'm gonna pretty much clean up, but this wraps up this video, you guys. Thanks for hanging in there with me. For those of you, comment below, let me know what kind of plant chores you've done, what kind of changes you've done in your growing environment. For those of you that actually experience a full winter or seasonal changes, I'm curious and interested to know. I still have other things that I want to do in here, as far as still some leaves that I need to cut off, and just probably just double check the roots, take a look at the leaves, and just overall care just to prepare these babies for the change. Hopefully it shouldn't be too much changes in here. Once I usually start turning the heat on in here and it's getting regulated, I kind of trick my plants into thinking that this area, at least here in my sunroom, is still a tropical environment, and sometimes I can still obtain or get massive growth. I hope it is, and I'm welcoming you guys and excited to bring you guys along the journey. So yeah, so that wraps up this video, you guys. Keep in mind, if you love foliage as much as I do, you love listening to planting things, definitely subscribe if you have not. For those of you who have subscribed, thank you so much. Push those thumbs up, you guys. I appreciate the support that you guys give me. Those thumbs up really will help promote my channel, and I'm trying to grow this plant community, and I know I cannot do that without you guys. And I love you so much. Enjoy your day wherever you are in the world. Till next time, guys, much love. Bye.